It's alive! It's alive!
Okay. Hello. I hope you are alive and well and all that shit. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna have to take chat off stream. Okay, so for those watching now here live and for those in the future, I have to say I'm only streaming this to YouTube. I usually stream to both Twitch and YouTube, but the stream key didn't work for Twitch. And you know what? I don't have time to figure out another stream thing. So sorry, Twitch, you don't get this shit. You're not seeing it. It's just my YouTube fam going off here. Hello, Ray, Buddy Pop. I love FNAF. It's good to see you all. I hope you're all doing really well. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. I did feel pretty sick. I was pretty nauseous. I just felt like I was gonna like vomit at any moment. I didn't throw up. I kept it all down, but I don't know. I got some kind of bug. I got something happened. I don't know if it was like food poisoning necessarily. I don't know what it was. I just had like some nausea, some headache and whatever. Like, I don't know. Apologies. But hey, you know, I'm here. We still get another stream this week. I got time today. Like, why not? Right? Anyway, did you cut your hair? I did. I got a haircut on Monday. On Monday, like right before the stream. I got a haircut then. So yeah. Yes, I did. And yeah, so I think I got it. So the thing about my haircut is like I think the top part of it, because I get like it shaved kind of on the sides here. I think the shaved sides I should have cut shorter. Like I did a 2. Like if you don't know what a 2 is, if you don't shave the sides of your heads, you know, it like they have sizes. It's like 1, 2, 3, whatever, for like how close the hair gets to your head. I did a 2 and I should have done a 1. I should have had it be shorter on the sides, and then the top I feel like got a little too short. You know, so like I feel like I should have like I fucked up on both ends, where it's like, you know, the sides that are usually super short is like not short enough, and then the top that actually needs to be a little bit more lengthy is not lengthy enough. So I kind of fucked it up, but you know, it still looks fine. I think it looks fine, but you know, whatever, it's fine. Hope you're better now. I am. I feel way better. It was just something on for yesterday thing. I don't know why. What's your caps lock on? Is excitement, you know, excitement. You're yelling a bunch. I'm happy. It's Friday. It's Friday. I don't usually stream on Fridays, so happy Friday, everybody. It's the weekend, finally. Hell yeah. Yeah, everything's good. My stomach opened? What do you mean? Do you mean like surgery wise, or what's going on? I love FNAF. Are you okay? I mean, you're here, so you must be decent. Sorry, the chat is way off to the side now because, you know, I'm just on YouTube here, not on Twitch, so I can't have like, oh, can I? I don't think I can have the chat where I usually have it. It's weird. It's in an awkward place right now. I'm sorry. But yeah. It's vacation. Nice. It's vacation. Why? Is there a holiday where you're at? There's no holidays. There's Valentine's Day coming up next week on Wednesday for us, but we don't get time off for that on vacation. Or is it just like whatever? Oh, it's a FNAF voice line. Oh. Oh yes, my stomach opened up. Yeah, baby, right? It was baby when she swallowed Elizabeth, if I remember correctly. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I should have put that together. I'm sorry. Fake fan. I'm a fake fan. Yeah, baby from Circus Baby. Yep. Okay. All right. We're all on the same page again. Sweet. Awesome. Heck yeah. Yeah, it was Elizabeth. Yeah, I was right. Sweet. Thank you. They could hear because of the children in the streams. Yeah, then there was a scream. Right. Okay. It's all coming back to me. I know exactly what you're talking about. Then there was a scream, and then there wasn't, and all that good stuff. Because baby killed her. Killed Elizabeth. I have a cousin named Elizabeth, and she's one of my favorite cousins. It's not relevant at all, but, it's just what came to mind. Anyway. I am going to get into this because I think we might finish this chapter today. I think we might. I'm pretty sure we're coming up on the end. I think. I don't know for sure. I didn't look it up either, so I don't know. Hopefully we'll finish it today. I got some other games that I want to play, but I guess we'll see. Oh, Dread, hey, what's up? What's up, Dread? Long time no see. How's it going? My cousin named Osama. Excuse me? Like you have a new cousin and that's what they named him? Yeah. Spam the heart. Okay. Be careful with spamming. I don't know. Just you guys put hearts or whatever. That's totally fine. Just be careful with spamming. I don't know. YouTube, they don't like that shit. They don't like spammers, and you might get marked as like a bot or something if you spam too much. So just be careful. I don't want anybody to be banned because they're because of anything like that. Man, I need to pop out chat. Hold on, I gotta pop this shit out because that is in such a weird spot. I hate it. Okay, go away. All right. Yeah, I love FNAF. Just quoting the circus baby, all that stuff. Well, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing good, Dread. Sorry, you're coming up during this game. I don't think you've been here. Maybe you haven't, and I just haven't seen it. I'm not talking to chat when I'm in game because it is more story based. It's a visual novel that I'm playing. And I'm focusing a little bit more on just the story and the immersion and whatever. So I won't be talking to chat. Just FYI, Dread, if you're gonna stick around for that, we probably won't get to talk too much. I'll be here, and then I'll pop in maybe sometimes to in between chapters or whatever to see what's going on. But yeah, you're going to a different profile, or never mind. Okay, never mind. Just popped up. Okay.
Oh god, did I hit a button? Do I sound different? I think I hit a button. I hit a button. Oh god, there we go. That's better. That sounds more like me. Sorry about that. I hit a button. So that's okay. I just wanted to say hello. Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Thanks for coming by. It's good to see you again. I'm glad you're okay. I always worry about whether you're okay or not because of how many times you've been in the hospital. So I'm good to see you again. Yeah. You have a night shift now. That's okay. That makes sense. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, I hope that's going well for you too. Get that money. Get that money, dude. Hell yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get into this now here, you guys. So yeah, let's pull this bad boy up. Get going. When we left off, Tomitake-san is telling us all about the past of Hinamizawa and how every year at the festival, I don't remember the name of the festival. I'm sure they'll say it again. But when we left off, he said that every year when they have this festival, somebody dies. It's happened 4 years in a row, and we just had the festival, and now it's the next day. So it's totally possible that we are going to figure out that somebody died last night. That's kind of where it seems like the story's going, is that we're going to hear about somebody's death in this chapter. So I guess we'll see about that. Yeah, here we go. All right, guys, I'm gonna
get, I don't even know, I don't even need chat on the screen right now. I'm only on YouTube anyway. All right, I'll boot me out. Boop, there we go. Sweet. And, pause that. We'll turn the game audio on, maybe, if it lets me. Where's game audio? What the heck? What is going on? Game audio, come back to me. Okay, you know what? I guess. Hold on a second. I don't know why it's doing this. Come on, what the frick? What the heckin' frick, man? Gee. Come on. All right, yeah, I don't know what's gonna... Give me a second. You know what? I'm gonna close the game. I'm gonna close the game, and I'm gonna boot me right back up in here. Boop, there we go. Sweet, all right. I don't know why it's not giving... Yeah. My audio mixer is not... There we go. Okay, I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. That was really weird. Okay, go away. There we go. Sweet. And we have audio. Dope. Awesome. Love it. All right, I'm going away again. Boop. I gotta pull everything up now. God dang it. It's kind of annoying. I'm slightly annoyed with all of this stuff. Anyway. Okay. Anyway. Here we go. Sweet. All right. We're good. We're good to go. And it looks like we're starting out with Mion.
So let's get her voice up here. Here we go. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, K-Chop.
You didn't do so badly yourself, Mion. Yesterday was so much fun.
Oh, that's right. Keiichi could. Thank you very much for Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
I wouldn't.
Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it.
Lie now. How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
Clomp, 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 whip, whiff.
Keiichi's song flicked my forehead. You should set a more brutal trap next time.
Seeing that, Reina began to swoon and Mion looked on in disbelief. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had back in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe?
I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class.
You shouldn't do that.
Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you all to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention.
You maybe ask questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate, damn it. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, "Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny." And now I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing. That wasn't happening.
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas? Looks interesting.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard.
I will lose, you hear?
I'm not too bad at this game.
It seemed that Reina didn't handle this kind of game very well.
The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins.
There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard.
So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones.
Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators.
Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Since the game ends even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed.
You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes.
The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion.
Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone.
So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess.
I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple.
I wonder, is it really?
Is Keiichi-san thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream or happy family planning manual or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards.
Then, I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Neon, knife, study.
You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask the other players. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it.
Me too.
I have one. Oh my, all of them are here.
3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, knife, and study. So that means that Mion and knife and study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down.
Then I'll go. Reina, Axe, Lounge.
Only 2 people said they had one? So it means out of Reina, Axe, and Lounge, one of them is correct and the in part of the crime. No, wait. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards.
Well, Tayu-chan is next. Go ahead.
Well, wait, just a little. I'm still sorting this out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough.
All right, now I have the criminal.
What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just now raises her hand?
The murderer is Rika-chan, in the infirmary with the poison. Well,
Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right.
I was right.
All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison.
Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Reina and I were left out in the cold, though.
How did you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all.
Don't worry, I had no idea either.
How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate.
That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual?
I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game.
What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maebara during the next round.
My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing.
After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Oh, Eureka! Sorry, need to go to the bathroom.
Take your time and squeeze out a nice one.
Me-chan, that's gross.
I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Reina had made her way over towards me.
Keiichi-kun, did you call for me?
Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Reina. I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Reina, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder.
I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one.
So I guess both of us will be taking that penalty?
Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this, both of us?
But how can we?
I brought my lips up to Reina's ear. Whisper. Psst, 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 psst. So sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. I had to do it.
Is that allowed?
Did you forget, Reina? The second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys.
Yeah, with this, we can probably win.
We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Reina was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you.
Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone.
Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement.
Oh, sorry. Then what should we do?
Go back ahead of me, Reina. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something.
Okay, got it.
Reina turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Reina and I would start winning over and over again. Both Reina and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. My Barakan, may I have a moment? Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things are just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please, make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. They have been waiting. Please, hurry. Right before my big match was pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Are you Maibara-san? Keiji Maibara-san? There was no question that he was a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, it seemed I was fated to meet middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, you know, don't you think? The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car, parked near the gate, and began walking. Yeah, you've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him? I'm not gonna bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about, even while knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please, let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between his legs. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. If you know anything related to this individual, please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker, starting with yours, Maebara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well. Huh? This is Tometake-san. There was no hint of his usual There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tometake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. When was the last time you saw these two? The last time, last night of... Oh my gosh, I can't talk. I can't read, actually. That's how it goes. Bye, Bunny Pop. Have a good weekend. See ya. Thanks for coming. Anyway. The night of the Watanagashi, we spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure. No, I was certain that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tometake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, Maebara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tometake-san told me, actually. How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen on the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tometake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Maebara-san, do you believe in the curse? Feel free to speak openly about it. I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling. Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys. So, what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? The man in the picture is dead. My mind went blank. What happened to Tometake-san? It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maebara-san? Implications? Not any... Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi, meaning this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again... The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right? I didn't want to understand why. Please, tell me what happened. It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa. It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest. One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder, around there. There were a few street lights on that road. Oh, sorry. My bad. I fucked that one up. Yeah. There were a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first. But when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open. From a knife or something? No. Nails. Nails? As in fingernails? You mean his neck was clawed through? From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails. What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was a suicide. Also, hello. Hi, Sally. Good to see you again. I know you don't read chat, but still. I read it this time. Hey, good to see you again. Hello. Welcome. I probably won't be reading chat very much from now on anyway. At this point, I just want to say hi to you. Anyway, Tomitake-san, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat, as hard as he could with his own nails, tore through the skin until it started to bleed, and even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails, still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Spurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed and he died in agony. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of the nature was detected. But it was a suicide. I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying? If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details, from his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on. We concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their own throat. Wounds on his hand matched a discarded piece of lumber nearby. There are traces of where he struck trees with the guardrails with it, and the guardrails with it. Tomitake-san's blood was found all over the place, meaning that while tearing out his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber. There were external injuries, which were not self-inflicted, discovered on Tomitake-san. There is a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, He picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died. The presumed time of death was between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tometake-san at the festival. Everyone signed Tometake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that... Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned home either. There's a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I spent with Tometake-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us. Oh, Abe. Hello, Abe. I think you'd like, Mineko more? I don't know what that is. Give me a second. I'm gonna write that down before getting back to it. Oh, that's the next When They Cry thing. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's going on my list for sure. Once I get through this, whatever, whenever I get through this, but sweet. Yeah, that's definitely on my list, because I do really enjoy Higurashi, so far at least. Anyway. Sorry, I'll get back to it in a second. Thank you, Abe. We've been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tometake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me. If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tometake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tometake-san. Tometake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse. I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses. The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh. That's how it must be, Maebara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand? Neither Tometake-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tometake-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tometake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tometake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tometake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there's nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either. No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough. If I see or hear? He was talking in the future tense. Things or people or rumors, anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter. Please help me solve these questions surrounding Tometake-san's unfortunate death. That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face. Everything we spoke of today is secret. Keep this confidential. Understood. From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki-san and Furude-san, please do not inform them. Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose. Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended. I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you. Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy. There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that? No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village. Then how did you come up with that conclusion? Every year, the enemies of the village die in a way on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something? Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa? First it was the damn construction foreman, then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other for mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same. Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it could just be shrugged off. Jesus Christ. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village. The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result. Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tometake-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. He was killed because he was an outsider. He was killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower. Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower. What's scary about that? It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider could be reason enough. Then you're saying that next year's victim will be picked out of the village outsider pool? It might be a person that just moved here. What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then the victims, the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion? I can't go into details, but the Sonozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion had fought. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it. Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know. We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers. Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough. Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe that it's a curse. How about that? What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with the curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they didn't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incidents this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted. As insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Uishi. Uishi from the Okinomiya police station. Okinomiya. I'm getting it. Hey, you know, I'm American. I gotta... I'm so sorry. Anyway, Uishi from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kuda-chan if you want. No, Uishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably let you get back to them. The door opened with a click, and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside of the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that's self-serving. It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Maebara-san. It would help to prove the village is not involved after all. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything, but I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, Maebara-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomitake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think that there was the possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Reina, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomitake's... It was a group that attacked oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ. It was a group that attacked Tomitake-san? Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here? Somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator.
It's me, Chan, the perpetrator.
Huh? I was startled to hear Reina's voice.
with the rope in the, lounge.
Nope.
No!
Reyna clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow.
Ah, Eiji-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger.
Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see.
You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame.
Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one.
If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm gonna be finishing in last place?
Don't worry, Keiji-kun. I'm at -1 point.
The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing?
This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Reyna alone or by both Taechan and Reyna.
Yeah, right. Let's just let Reyna do the penalty by herself.
We made a promise, Keiji-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know?
I'm sorry about that. I followed my initial plan of showing Reyna my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
I got it. The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it?
My, Reyna. Quite a quick answer. Another stab in the dark? Oh.
Reyna's correct. Oh, then it's decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well.
Hooray, Keiji-kun. Let's both do our best.
Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice.
Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. In dead last are Keiichi Maibara and Rena Ryugu.
Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty.
Now then, I rank first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty.
Well, what will she make us buy, I wonder.
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper.
Whoa, there's a lot written here.
A lot? Damn it. What is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar, and fried tofu. What the heck is this?
It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. He was certain she was going to win today.
Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is fruit fable. Thanks.
This is just your grocery list. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Hey, Charlie. What's up? How's it going? I think this might be the end of the chapter, maybe? Possibly. We'll see. Yep, that was a long fade out. Sweet. We'll save. Not a clue is the achievement that I just got. Savvy. Sounds good. Alrighty. Alright, I guess we gotta do one more. Again, man, you know, why don't I, here, it's the middle. I'll boot me back up in here. Where the heck am I? Boop, there we go. Sweet. Alright. Okay, here we are. Just gonna talk to you guys for a moment. I won't be talking as well because I'm making profile pictures. Cool. Nice. Doing good things. Done a costume fitting today for a film. Nice. On the 14th. Sweet. On the 14th, isn't the 14th Valentine's Day? Ooh. You're gonna be in the doghouse, my friend. You're gonna be busy on Valentine's Day. Ooh, uh-oh. Unless you're taking your missus with you. I don't know if that's even a thing. I don't know, but... Uh-oh. Oh, nice haircut. I presume you got that haircut. I haven't seen your face for a while. Yeah, I got it on Monday. You weren't here Monday, were you? I don't remember. I don't think you were, but yeah, I got it on Monday. And thank you. I appreciate it. She's a fine one. She's working too on Valentine's Day. Ah, okay. I guess. You're even then. That's cool. That, you know, as long as you can come to an understanding. Yeah, dope. Let's see here. What do we have? So, when it comes to the game and the story, where we're at, geez. All right, so Tometake-san, our photographer friend, he apparently clawed out his own throat. He clawed his throat, ripped his own fucking throat out. Our friend, that's what happened to him last time. He's dead. Man, he was cool. He was really nice. What the fuck? How and why did he claw his own fucking throat out? That's crazy. That's insane. That's actually really messed up. My God. And then we just went back to a very lovely card game. That's the main shit that happened. The detective he's like, hey, Tometake-san brutally killed himself after being ganged up on in some fashion. So many questions. How? Why? What the fuck? Those kinds of things. That's what you get when you stick your neck out for people. You get it clawed out, but he did it himself. And I guess, I don't know. Like, if you stick your neck out for people, then they might claw you. I don't know why you would claw yourself out if you stick your neck out for other people. That just seems wrong. It seems like the opposite of what you would want. But, yeah. Shoot. So, I guess we can continue. I have a sneaking suspicion. Like, we got the story of how our friend clawed his own goddamn throat out. I have a sneaking suspicion that this next part might be a little graphic. Maybe. I have a feeling. This seems like the one. There's been a ton of buildup. Now our friend is dead, and that's where we're going. That's what we got to deal with right now. Crazy, man. That's crazy. You do claw yourself. It makes sense. It's a self-infliction, just like helping other people. Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's why I don't help people. Yes. Perfectly acceptable and understandable. I agree. Don't ever help anybody, ever. Anyway, I'm gonna get me back out of here. Boop. All right. Sweet. Alrighty. Yeah, Ray, keep working on your profile picture. Sally, keep up whatever you do. Just stay cool, I guess. Oh, my mother is calling me. Uh-oh. Give me a second. I gotta call my mom, I guess. I'll be back I'll put you on, do I have my be right back? I do. Okay, see you in faces. You're just like, man, somebody pooped all over my wall. Man, so mad.
Well, I want to look at this. What the hell is it? Oh, God. I'm trying to make a reference here, and I'm failing.
Take a look at this.
I'm mad at myself. Give me a second. I'll think of it.
I gotta go on to his office. I gotta put his mail in the guy's goddamn hands. Otherwise, he's never gonna get it. He's gonna keep coming back down here. So I go up to Pepe's office, and what do I find out, man? What do I find out? There's no Pepe Sylvia.
Shit, I didn't think of it yet. Okay, 295. Okay.
Ah, fuck you! Oh, shit!
The wreckage cannot be reached at this time. No photographs have been recovered. I went to all that fucking work. Do you know what I had to get through to get those goddamn photographs? You can't find a goddamn one of them. Yeah, I would see him again. We must try to joke the fire. What do you call a cheap circumcision? A ripoff. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, we're doing this. We're playing a game, huh? Mom's just calling me, bothering me and shit. Jeez. Anyway. Sally said, I'm always cool. It's funny. Damn right. Anyway. Sleepy.
Whoa, that was a pretty big yawn, Chico.
I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now.
Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night?
How extremely vile.
Wait a second. Don't imagine things and jump to conclusions.
It's perfectly normal for boys. Nothing to be ashamed about.
Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously.
My, you think I would just sit here and allow that?
I'll get really angry if you disturbed me. Really angry. Ugh. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Satoko had responded, but I pretended not to hear her.
Cut it out, Satoko-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face. So cute.
You can take him home later. Let him be for now.
Let's move over there. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now.
Rika-chan really is a good girl.
Let's not wake him. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back.
I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Oishi-san that afternoon, I didn't sleep much. Just spending the day like this. It's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Oishi-san just trying to deceive me? But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. It ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Oishi-san for this.
Huh? When was that?
I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi.
Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Reina's voice was even harder to pick up, but I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san?
Lui, it take.
Not sure. That's all I know.
I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? Guilt stung.
So, it would be, there are others, right? Two?
But they don't know if it's from a curse or if it was Oni Kakashi.
Oni Kakashi? Oni Kakashi. To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
Yeah, there was another, right? Right?
If it's Oyashiro-sama's. Yeah,
But this year that at all?
Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happened this year without causing a commotion.
Then, without us knowing it, someone had them. You mean?
Maybe?
Next could be, I wonder.
Don't worry. You got home safely.
But is not allowed, right?
That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this.
Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but the few parts that caught my attention. First of all, the term Oni Kakashi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, it really bugged me that I didn't know her name, vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Reina said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse, or if it was a case of Oni Kakushi. I think I've been saying that wrong, I'm sorry. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Then the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Reina. Reina was frightened. For what reason, I don't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Oyashiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday, Oishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Reina. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san. Informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events.
The teacher approaches. Keiichi-san, you must awaken.
In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon class. I couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Oh! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Satoko? Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I furiously jumped up from my seat and tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Satoko. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Satoko.
Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat.
Clomp, clomp, wish biff. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead.
Keiichi-san is being mean.
Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Maebara-kun. Apologize to her. I saw Satoko stick her tongue out at me. That little brat. Come on, Maebara-kun. Yeah, I apologize. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologized, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her. I'll remember this.
Hey John, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take your seat.
I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Uishi-san. Reina and I were even able to test out our strategy.
That's right. Today, Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious.
What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Why not try asking me?
Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up.
Oops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today.
Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes?
Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man is heading back home now.
Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag.
You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town.
I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff.
She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear.
I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But wouldn't you call that a part-time job? Isn't that against school policy?
There's a clause that states household chores are excluded.
Is that what she's calling it? So, what now? Pass on the club today?
So, we're done today, I guess.
Won't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Ah, here it is. The deduction game from yesterday. Man, I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break.
I don't mind, but is that fine for Reina-san and Rika?
If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I wouldn't mind playing for a bit.
I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together.
When she says it like that,
I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. Going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot.
Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting.
What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. If I kept on trying to push the matter, it may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Oh well, I'll give up this time. Man, I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up in it.
At the next opportunity, I shall give you a sound thrashing.
The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all.
What? What did you say? Then I'll just...
Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck three of them at me.
The murderer is Keiichi in the lounge with the rope.
I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this.
No, Keiichi-san is such a beast.
Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got that out of my system.
I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. You poor thing.
Cute.
Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Reina, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi. Not all the cards were made by us. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall.
Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up.
Being rushed by Reina, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Reina had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Reina, there must be quite a few people who transfer from this school, right? I tried asking Reina in a bit of a roundabout way. Reina made a troubled face and then answered.
Yeah, Hinamizawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then.
Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees?
Sorry, I don't really know.
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him, so I didn't hear much about him. Sorry.
I am not sure. Sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone is worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
Keiichi-kun, you're making a scary face. Why is it? Why?
It was probably exactly the kind of face Reina said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Reina's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry.
Keiichi-kun, were you tired, maybe? Maybe?
Reina timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so?
Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold?
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had a perfect attendance since elementary school. Reina continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live, after all. Of course you have gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it has to be. Reina was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know?
I wondered if Reina also experienced the slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely. But I did feel a little out of place.
Reina told me all the details of when she moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises... What? All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too?
Yeah, there was a thumbtack put in my chair. Poke. Then with that, yeah, that really takes me back.
When were you invited into the club? The first day?
Nah, there wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day, she said we would stay after and hold a big game tournament.
Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. Now I get it.
This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. She'd never win.
Huh? Mion, really? I can't even imagine that.
She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Ha ha ha. Seriously, don't tell.
I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used to any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah, it might have only been since you moved here that I had finally felt like I'd gotten used to it here.
I guess Reina had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'll finally be considered one of them.
Huh? Did you say something?
No, sorry. Just talking to myself.
Keiichi-kun, you're silly.
Reina was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey, Reina. Is there something that everybody is keeping from me?
Huh? No, not at all.
You're lying, aren't you? Reina suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun?
Her tone was still the same cheery and lighthearted as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us?
Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Reina. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Reina.
Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you?
You are. Secrets? She didn't actually say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tometake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tometake-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies, no secrets.
Liar.
Her answer was instant and it shook me. Reina stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying?
Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room.
I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate with some man we don't know.
Reina knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Ushi-san, and that I had heard about the incident with Tometake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
Exactly who is that man?
I don't know him.
Why did someone you don't know have business with you?
I want to know that myself.
Then what did you talk about?
It has nothing to do with you guys. That was a lie. Reina's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale in deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Reina Ryugu. Then, who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Reina Ryugu's appearance? I held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
Right?
And then she made a facial expression that Reina normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Reina's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. whoever this was with Reina chew my nose right off. A coward as I imagined that. Then she smirked, as if she was able to see right through me.
We also had secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets.
It was Reina's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Reina, frightened me to my very core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long empty silence, she finally spoke.
Let's go. It's getting chilly.
It was Reina again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped to the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Reina was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and asked myself once again, who was that person who looked like Reina Ryugu? I was wondering if that would be it or not. Oh god, wow, what the fuck? Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep going, but Jesus Christ, I have to be like, before we move on. Yeah, holy shit, right? Reina. The hell, man? Thought we were cool. Whatever. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner, except stare blankly into space. I was terrified from Reina going off. Was I terrified from Reina going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Reina. Then who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling, knowing that that was someone else, not Reina. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Reina like I usually do. That thought was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs. Keiichi, it's a call from the bookstore. Bookstore? Can't think of why they'd be calling me. I went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway. My apologies for calling so late at night. It's me, Uishi, of the Okinomiya bookshop. Uishi-san? Oh, it's Uishi-san. Sorry. Since your parents picked up, I said I was from the bookstore. It puts people off when I say I'm a police officer. Uishi-san was, and in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor. Sorry for calling so late. That phone number on the piece of paper I gave you yesterday was the old number. My apologies. Can you copy down the number I'm about to give you? Yeah. Okay. He gave me the number for his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up. So, how's it been, Maebara-san? Did anything strange happen recently? I see. This was the real reason. He really beat around the bush there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed. Are you from around here, Uishi-san? Yeah, I am. Born and raised in Okinomiya. If he's from around here, he might know. Uishi-san, do you know what this Oni Kakushi thing is about? I believe that's when somebody suddenly vanishes because they've been abducted by a demon. It's a special saying from around here. It has the same meaning as spirited away, like everyone else says. Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. It made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything. Hinamizawa was... I'm not sure if I should tell you this, Maebara-san. Don't try to play this off. If you're not gonna talk, then I'm not gonna tell you anything. No, that's not what I meant. It's just, it may make you feel bad. You see, a long time ago, Hinamizawa was feared as the village where demons reside. Demons? By demons, you mean those pitchfork-carrying things in hell? More like human-eating monsters. They go down to villages, snatching up people and gobbling them down. That kind of tale. Demons snatching up people is what this Onikakushi really means? They said that the curse and being demoned away happened together. What does that mean? I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years. The curse and being demoned away happened together? First time I've heard of that. Is that how it is, Maebara-san? That's what I want to know. I heard Reina and Mion talking. They said that if it was really Oyashiro-sama's curse, then both the curse and demoning away would happen. Uishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind? Maebara-san, do you know the first incident? The murder by dismemberment? Yeah. One of the 6 perpetrators is still on the run, right? Hypothetically. What if he isn't on the run, but was demoned away? Huh? It was an outrageous hypothesis from Uishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was the particularly ghastly one. The police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations and investigated every possible escape route he had. But after 4 years, there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off. Then what about the incident next year? When the man who supported the project and his wife both died in an accident? Well, actually, it was only the husband who died in an accident. His wife's body never surfaced. Unless we find the body, then it's considered a missing person by law. At the time of the incident, with the river below the cliff being muddy rapids, the police divers had searched every branch of the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find her body. But that's just them not being able to find the body. She's still dead, right? Isn't it different from her being demoned away? We cannot say someone is dead without their body. Until a certain number of years pass, by law, she's treated as still alive. I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality. How about the 3rd year? The Shinto priest died of an illness and his wife committed suicide. Maebara-san, that's actually the exact same scenario. The wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless swamp deep in the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the swamp. A diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find a body. The investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere. I'm not sure if we could refer to these cases as being demoned away. It's just as you've said. Every year, one person does go missing. The incident this year, the woman with Tometake-san has gone missing. Then what about the incident with the housewife beaten to death? Who went missing? I believe the perpetrator was caught, right? Yeah, we arrested him. He was just a miscreant with a record of narcotics abuse. He admitted to the crime while being questioned about a different incident. But, well, you see, after he was arrested, a child from the victim's home went missing. It's still under investigation as to whether the disappearance had anything to do with the crime. But you said you caught him, right? Did he have an accomplice? no idea. It was most likely only the one perpetrator. Moreover, we can't even check now, because while under investigation, that man, he died in his holding cell. He swallowed a spork and choked to death. It's not known whether it was an accident or suicide. Meaning, for the last 5 years, there's always one person who dies and one who goes missing. That's about right. No, actually, I'm surprised as well. I never realized they had that in common. I couldn't believe that this could help lead to the closing of those incidents. It was just something they had in common. Could it be those demoned away have something in common? Ueshi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the events. The first year was the dam employee. Second year was the wife of a dam project supporter. Third year was the wife of the Shinto priest. Fourth year was the victim's family's child. And the fifth year was the victim's girlfriend, I guess. It doesn't seem like there's anything that connects them. With the exception of this, Jesus Christ. With the exception of the first year, wives and girlfriends, those do stand out. It does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim's child was different. It would have really stood out if it were all married couples. Except it's not just married couples, but parents and children as well. Come to think of it, I believe Tometake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly. The child that went missing in the fourth year, who were they? Apparently, he was quite mature, 1 year older than you. His name was Satoshi Hoju-san. Huh? Satoshi? I remember that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year? He was at your school up until last year. Didn't they tell you anything about him? Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student. Then, where I sat, once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat? I recall the cold sensation that came up from that desk. It made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths. No, Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. That chilling sensation. It was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck. Oyashiro-sama's curse. Huh? Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it, and I was scared. That was why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. But the more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually I'd reach the point where I'd learn something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or to seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Reina. Reina said she may be the next victim of the curse. You mean Reina Ryugu-san? She transferred in last year and she's your classmate, isn't she? These incidents really might be a bit too disturbing for a girl. She's not just scared, is she? It wasn't that. She said it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it. It felt like she was convinced, almost as if, you could say, she was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor, that someone who looked like Reina but wasn't Reina, that might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Reina today came back to me. I see. Then I'll be doing a bit of investigating on this end. Please continue your observations of Ryugu-san, Maebara-san. Are you asking me to keep Reina under surveillance? That's not what I mean, Maebara-san. I just want you to watch out for your friend so she doesn't end up the next victim. At that moment, just as my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. A sudden knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver. Keiichi, get the door, please. On the other end of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? It's so late. Sorry, my dad just came in. Can we leave it at this for tonight? Yeah, my apologies again for calling so late. If you find anything else out, please let me know. I'll tell you if I make any progress on this end. Well then, have a pleasant evening. Keiichi, hurry and open up. Dad's got his hands full. What is Dad doing? I had stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with a tray. On that tray, cookies and 2 cups of black tea. Fairly fancy spread for our household. There was even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. This was quite the show of hospitality. What's going on, Dad? What's all this for? Come. Jesus. Excuse me. Come now. Don't play around, Keiichi. I'm coming in. Dad was in a high spirit and had a smirk on his face. But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. What had gotten into him? So, what were you talking about? I jumped. It's not something I had to keep from my father, but how could I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was, this late at night. Nothing much. Just a friend. I don't mean the phone. She was here, wasn't she? Reina-chan? What? She wasn't here. Come now, don't try to keep it from me. She just came over to play. You two were chatting away, so I thought I'd bring some tea, but looks like I just missed her. I had no idea what Dad was talking about, but a cold sweat dripped down my back. How long were we talking? Reina-chan went upstairs about half after, so it was close to an hour, I guess. You saw her come up to the 2nd floor? Yeah, I did. I also told her that your room was the door down the hall up the stairs. Reina came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the 2nd floor. I probably didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Uishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. Then told her my room was on the 2nd floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs and about an hour passed, then passed by my dad and returned home. Then, after she came upstairs, and until she left, where was Reina? It was only a short hallway between my room and the stairs, meaning Reina had, for about an hour, in the hall. No, she couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. The door to my room was particularly thick. Wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. All of the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Uishi-san about began rushing through my head. Honey, don't tease him. More importantly, you need to clean up your studio. It's a mess again. Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. I followed my dad out of the room with my eyes. I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Reina might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Uishi-san, with my back turned, Reina was standing a mere 6 feet away. The whole time? All that time, in this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? As the steam from the two teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Wow, I think that was the first time we got to see our character, Keiichi. I mean, I knew what he looked like from the anime, but that was the first time we saw him in game. Interesting. Okay, well that was it, I guess. Want to boot me back? Boop. Lies is the achievement that I just got, and I think the description was lie to Reina or something. It just said lies. God, okay, I guess we're not done. Jeez. This game is longer than I had expected.
It's alive.
Ah, nuts.
It's alive.
It's not alive, and also my green screen is a little off. Anyway, holy shit. Yeah, no, like I said at the beginning, and this game takes turns. It takes it's getting there. Oh my god. I do love this type of thing though, is like these slow burn types of stories where it's just like, you know, we spent so much time with like Reina, and she's like been so sweet and nice, and we get a bit of her personality and are friends with her or whatever, and then she like turns on us and is like getting all up in our face about lying to her, and it's very creepy and ominous, and I love it. I love it so much. It's getting good. It's getting good, you guys. Oh. We'll have to wait till Monday for the continuation, though. What do you think? Oh, yeah, I guess since we're here, let me see. Yeah, I saw you guys had, you're changing your profiles. That is, oh man, I can barely see. I can tell one of them is Sally Face, and then one of them is, Ash, it looks like. And there's stuff on their heads, and I can't tell what the thing on their heads is because the icons are too small. I can't see. I can't tell what those are, but I do know I think I'm right. That's Ash, right? That's not Larry, is it? Because Ash and Larry have like similarly long hair. It's just like different colored, but I think that's Ash. It looks like Ash. It looks more purple. Again, the icon's really tiny, so I can barely tell. Yeah. Anyway. Gee, and doing that Uishi's voice, you know, gravelly shit, that can only do that for so long. I hope there's not a ton of him in this. I might have to change his voice. Sal and I have Ash, and they have a KFC bucket on their head. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna put it back here. Yeah, I can... Man, it's hard to tell that that's a KFC bucket from, even if I get really close to it, but okay. Now I know, at least. That's really cool. Nice. Looks good. Yeah. The music in the background, too, is just super intense. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Yeah, so... I'm curious. I don't know how much of this is left, but yeah, I guess anyway, I don't really have much else to go over. I'll be back on Monday doing this again, and then we'll see where this picks up. Hopefully Reina doesn't murder us. Reina might murder us. I think that's a possibility. I'm kind of I'm afraid for my own safety. Anyway. Thank you, everybody who came by, hung out. Bunny Pop, Ray, Sal, good to see you again. Charlie came by a bit. Abe was here for a moment. And I don't think oh, I love FNAF. That's right. Can't forget I love FNAF. Never. And Dread was also here for a little bit, which is awesome. Got a lot of people in here this time. It was good to see you all, and I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully you will too, and I'll see you then. But until then, thanks for hanging out, and bye. I'll see ya, and goodbye.